what we're doing is so important here, and I'm glad that Nida is talking about warehousing our content here first before moving it out. Now, Netflix came to serve the Last Supper here a couple of weeks ago. In case you are not aware, they invited our filmmakers to a party, but before then they had spoken to the people they had been dealing with. They were saying, look, we're pulling out, we're not doing business with you anymore. So it was what you might call a fatal Last Supper. You know, you agree with me, you know? Things like that should challenge us. It should provoke us, you know, because if you don't have challenges like that, you cannot see opportunities. You know, we cannot rely on them anymore. I want to say, what does that mean to you, and what advice, and what does that say to you, and what do you think, what are the lessons we should learn from that going forward? What do you think we can do, and how can government take advantage? Remember, he had suggested talking about a local, you know, a national, if you like, call it Netflix as well, or platform or whatever. So you're wearing the shoe. So speak to these two issues and yeah.
Okay. All right, again, thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for inviting me to be part of this. First of all, I mean, I've always said that film really does not have a language. We all grow up on Indian films, Chinese films, and we'll watch without subtitles, and you get excited, and you still catch the story, you know. And you know, Nigeria is an interesting country because the industry is so segregated. You know, you have the English film, you have the Yoruba film, you have Kannywood, and you have many woods, you know, and today we have, I mean, most of the content that I've done really well on Netflix platforms were done in native languages, you know, and for me, this says something. You reference Korean series. I'm very big on Korean content, film, series, Japanese anime, and these were all done in native language. But the interesting thing is, the language is not a barrier, because these days you have the option of watching with subtitles, and you also have the option of watching with dub. So if you want to watch in German, you can. If you want to watch in a film like Anikulapo is subtitled in 40-something languages, and it was dubbed in, I think, more than 15 languages, and it's streamed in 190 countries all over the world. But this is done in native language, a Nigerian language. So whatever it is we do, look, if you make conscious effort to be intentional when it comes to the kind of content that you make, the world will seek you. They will find you, even if you're in a shithole, and your work speak for itself. I mean, we all started, you know, I mean, my first film was Irakbada. And when I did Irakbada to actually provoke the industry. This was in 2006. That was, I think, the second year that AMA Awards started. And at that time, you have categories like drama in English, comedy in English, then you have in Hausa, and then you have in Igbo, and that was what it was. But I did Irakbada Irakbada was multilingual, so it was a bit confusing. And they couldn't really, like, judge the film. And that was the year they created the category of indigenous language film, you know, and the Irakbada won, you know, that year. I think we should continue to do what we do, you know, whether it's in English or Ibibio or Ibira or, you know, even minority languages, as long as the story sort of have universal appeal, and then production value is you know highly considered, you will get on several platforms. Coming to Netflix, I've tried to really avoid this because you know, it's really heartbreaking, you know, and it's a big blow, you know, on us, because in my head, I've been thinking, how can we come from earning in dollars, like millions, and then you're now thinking, where will I put my film? 3 years ago, when we signed the 3 film deals with Netflix, it was really exciting because it's like you've been given like a contract to say, for the next 3 years, we really don't care if you work for other people or do other things, but make one film for us per year. So that way you could focus on being a creative, because these things are already like you have guarantee and you have funds, to make them. But again, Netflix will say to you, oh, we're doing this primarily for Nigeria. So the budget you're being given is tied to what they earn in Nigeria. But these films are doing amazingly well all over the world. Just like Oga Moazi mentioned, a week after Adekolapo film was released, it topped #1 globally, all over the world. And because of that, they commissioned the series, the first season. And after the first season, they commissioned season 2 and 3. Thank God we have shot season 2 and 3, because all the other people who were commissioned the same time with us, they've been cancelled. The projects were cancelled. And that is why sometimes you need to move. I just would like to encourage the filmmakers out there. It's a shame that most of my colleagues are not here, because this is not a good representation of the industry. I can't even see my colleagues. And this is a national festival. This represents the entire country. And I would expect that people from, different tribes and countries and all of that will be here to celebrate. I'm not sure why, but I think it's something we need to work on. I mentioned it yesterday. I think government can do a whole lot too. And I listened to the Honorable Minister, and I really like, all of the things that have been noted, to be improved upon. But I think there is more. The industry is built really by individuals. I mentioned yesterday that the last time a grant was given by federal government was during Goodluck Jonathan's period, Project Nollywood Act. And a lot of people benefited for that. Some use it to do what they promised to do, but some people, of course, use it to marry more wives or buy cars or, and all of that. But again, we need this kind of gesture, because some people are making, for example, I know 3 or 4 individuals. We're filmmakers. We're actually supposed to sit back and just create. But because there were gaps and holes and, lapses in the industry, some of us have taken it upon ourselves to do more beyond just creating. I know Balanle is building a film village in, Ekpe. We've built one in Oyo. I know Ibrahim Shatta is also building one. And we started this project in 3 years. We started 3 years ago. And as we speak, we have a full, film village and resort where we have 70 rooms accommodation, and we have sets originally built and all. And people can come from different parts of the world. And there has never been one gesture or support from government. And I've reached out a few times. The Oyo State government donated transformer and some poles, but in that community there hasn't been light in years. So the last time I had opportunity to speak, I said, what is the use of transformer and all of that when there are no electricity? So for 3 years we've been running on generator, and it is not sustainable, and that is why we can't even open fully. So I would like to plead, to federal government. All we are asking is, incentives or some kind of support towards alternative green energy or solar or whatever that can, help us run, and it's going to be of benefit to everyone. On a last note, we need to create our own distribution platform. I'm very glad and happy with what people are doing on YouTube. You know, just like you said, I have, as a matter of fact, most of the actors and talents are being forced to become their own distributor. So everybody is now creating like YouTube, channels. But what if tomorrow YouTube comes and brings some policies that will, you know, affect our projection and all of that?
Like Netflix just did.
Like Netflix just did.
Amazon
Amazon did the same thing.
Yes.
And we thought, you know, but now I'm not even sure how to distribute. So if you make content, how do you distribute? So I think we can, and I'm not going to put that entire weight on government. And I think as practitioners, we also can come together and, you know, have a discussion. You know, I mean, you know, my brother and friend Obi Asika is here, and, you know, when it comes to content distribution and all of that, he's been in forefront, you know, of this kind of a thing. So I think collaboration between government and the stakeholders will go a long way. Thank you.
Thank you very much.